Identity before influence, that's where it starts. Before the applause, before the followers, before the money, before the recognition, you have to remember who you are. Because if you don't define yourself, the world will do it for you. And the world is quick to label you by your mistakes, your failures, your background, your current situation. But listen to me, you are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not the opinions of people who never had the courage to chase their own dreams. When you wake up every day, you must wake up with intention. You must wake up knowing what you stand for, what you refuse to tolerate, what you are building, and why you are building it. Identity is not about ego, it's about foundation. And if your foundation is weak, any storm can shake you. That's why some people quit when the pressure hits. That's why some people fold when criticism shows up. That's why some people abandon their goals when it gets uncomfortable. They built influence without identity. They built an image without a core. But when you know who you are, pressure doesn't break you, it proves you. When you know who you are, hate doesn't distract you, it fuels you. When you know who you are, obstacles don't stop you, they train you. You have to build that internal confidence that doesn't depend on likes, doesn't depend on applause, doesn't depend on validation. Because if your confidence depends on people, your power belongs to people. And the moment they clap less, you perform less. That's dangerous. You cannot allow external noise to control internal purpose. You must decide, this is who I am disciplined, I am committed, I am resilient, I am built for growth. And once you decide that, your actions must align with it. You can't say you're great but move like you're average. You can't say you're focused but entertain distractions. You can't say you're different but live like everybody else. Identity requires alignment, it requires sacrifice, it requires standards. When you know who you are, you don't chase every opportunity, you chase the right opportunity. You don't respond to every opinion, you respond to your mission. You don't compete with everybody, you compete with the person you were yesterday. That's power, that's control, that's leadership. The problem is, too many people are trying to be liked instead of trying to be legendary. They're trying to fit in instead of stand firm, but you weren't created to blend in. You weren't created to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You were created with unique gifts, unique vision, unique hunger. And if you forget that, you'll spend your life living small. So every morning, before you check your phone, before you listen to the world, remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself of your standards. Remind yourself of the battles you've already survived. Remind yourself that you didn't come this far to be average. Because when identity is clear, decisions become easy. When identity is strong, fear becomes weak. When identity is solid, distractions lose power. And when influence finally comes, when success finally shows up, it won't change you because you were already grounded. That's the key. Build the person before you build the platform. Build the character before you build the brand. Build the identity before you chase the influence. Because when you truly remember who you are, nothing in this world can make you forget it. Pain does not change your DNA, it reveals it. Listen to me carefully. Just because life hit you doesn't mean life changed who you are. Too many people let one failure rewrite their identity. One rejection makes them feel unworthy. One mistake makes them feel incapable. One setback makes them feel finished. But you were never defined by a moment. You are defined by your mindset. Struggle is not a label, it's a lesson. Pressure is not a punishment, it's preparation. When life squeezes you, it doesn't create what's inside you, it exposes it. And if greatness is inside you, pressure will pull it out. The problem is, when pain shows up, most people start questioning themselves. They start saying, maybe I'm not built for this, maybe I'm not strong enough, maybe this dream is too big. No, the dream isn't too big. Your belief just got too small. Remember who you were before the disappointment. Remember the version of you that had fire in your eyes and hunger in your spirit. That version didn't disappear. It just got buried under doubt. And doubt grows when you keep replaying your losses instead of your lessons. You survived things you once thought would destroy you. You got through nights that felt endless. You faced embarrassment, fear, uncertainty, and you're still here. That's not weakness, that's proof of strength. Your pain did not delete your potential. Your mistakes did not erase your calling. Your delays did not cancel your destiny. Pain is temporary, but purpose is permanent, and if you allow temporary pain to create permanent identity, you will shrink yourself to fit your scars. But scars are reminders that you healed, not signs that you're broken. Every setback built a muscle. Every failure built endurance. Every tear built resilience. You don't lose when you fall. You lose when you decide that falling is who you are. And that's a lie. You are not the loss. You are not the heartbreak. You are not the rejection letter. You are the comeback. You are the growth. You are the evolution, and evolution is uncomfortable. Growth hurts. Transformation feels like breaking before it feels like building. But don't confuse discomfort with destruction. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's harming you. Sometimes it's strengthening you. Sometimes it's stretching you beyond limits you didn't even know you had. Think about it. Every level requires a new version of you, and sometimes pain is the tool that shapes that version. But here's the key. You must control the narrative. If you tell yourself, this happened because I'm not good enough, you shrink. If you tell yourself, this happened to make me better, you rise. Same situation, different identity. The strongest people are not those who avoided pain. They are those who refuse to let pain define them. So when life hits you again, and it will, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this building in me? Because champions aren't born in comfort. Leaders aren't created in ease. Strength is forged in resistance. And resistance does not rewrite your DNA, it proves it. You were built for more than survival. You were built for greatness. And greatness does not disappear because of a bad season. It waits for you to remember who you are, so stand up, shake off the doubt, use the pain as fuel, and move like someone who understands that pressure doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you've always been. Discipline reveals the real you. Everybody talks about motivation. Everybody posts quotes. Everybody says they want success, but discipline is where truth shows up. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. And when you remember who you really are, you stop depending on feelings and start operating from commitment. Who are you when the alarm rings and you don't feel like getting up? Who are you when nobody is clapping, nobody is watching, nobody is encouraging you? That's the real you, because character is not built in comfort, it's exposed in pressure. When it's easy, everybody looks focused. When it's convenient, everybody looks dedicated. But when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's repetitive, discipline separates the average from the elite. If you say you're destined for greatness, but you can't control your habits, then you don't have a motivation problem, you have an identity problem. Because when you truly know who you are, your behavior aligns with your vision. You don't negotiate with excuses. You don't entertain distractions. You don't lower your standards just because you're tired. You understand that every small action is casting a vote for the person you're becoming. And if you keep voting for comfort, you become average. If you keep voting for discipline, you become unstoppable. The real you is not the version that talks about goals. It's the version that works on them consistently. The real you is not the one that shines when it's easy. It's the one that shows up when it's hard. Discipline is not punishment, it's proof. It proves that your dreams are bigger than your excuses. It proves that your standards are stronger than your feelings. It proves that you respect your potential enough to protect it. Most people want the reward without the routine. They want the spotlight without the sacrifice. But greatness is built in the dark. It's built in the early mornings. It's built in the late nights. It's built in the moments when quitting feels reasonable, but continuing feels powerful. And when you choose to continue, that's when you meet your real self, not the scared version, not the distracted version. The disciplined version, the focused version, the dangerous version. Discipline sharpens your mindset. It strengthens your confidence, because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. And when you trust yourself, you move differently, you speak differently, you think differently, you stop doubting your ability because you've proven your consistency. And consistency creates confidence. If you can control your habits, you can control your direction. If you can control your direction, you can control your destiny. But it starts with discipline, not once. Not when you feel inspired every single day, even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, even when progress feels slow. Because slow progress with discipline is still progress toward greatness. Remember this, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are built on daily discipline. So if you want to see who you really are, look at your routines. Look at what you do when nobody's watching. Look at how you respond when it gets uncomfortable. That's your truth. And the beautiful thing is, discipline is a choice. Every day you get another opportunity to prove to yourself who you are. So choose actions that match your calling. Choose habits that reflect your standards. Choose consistency over comfort. Because when you master discipline, you don't just chase success. You become the type of person success chases. You were chosen for this level, and the size of your struggle is proof of the size of your calling. Stop looking at your obstacles like they're accidents. Stop acting surprised by the pressure. You don't get heavyweight battles with a lightweight purpose. The reason the fight is intense is because what's inside you is powerful. Average people don't face uncommon challenges. Ordinary minds don't get extraordinary resistance. So when life turns up the heat, don't panic, prepare. Because pressure doesn't come to crush you, it comes to confirm you. It's asking you one question: did you forget who you are? And every time you stand up again, every time you refuse to quit, every time you push when it hurts, you answer that question with action. You weren't built to fold. You weren't designed to live small. You weren't created to sit on the sidelines of your own destiny. There is something different about you. There is something resilient in your spirit. Look at your track record. You've been doubted before. You've been counted out before. You've faced moments that felt impossible before. And yet, you're still here. That's not luck. That's strength. That's purpose. That's proof that you were built for this level. But here's the danger. When the pressure increases, if your mindset decreases, you'll shrink in the very season meant to stretch you. Don't let big challenges make you think you're inadequate. Let them remind you that you're advancing. Every new level demands a new mindset. Every higher stage demands deeper focus. And if the weight feels heavier, it's because your capacity is growing. Think about it. When you go to the gym, the weight doesn't get lighter, you get stronger. The resistance doesn't disappear, your endurance increases. And life works the same way. The obstacles don't mean you're off track. They mean you're on the edge of growth. But growth requires belief. You must believe that you belong in the room. You must believe that you deserve the opportunity. You must believe that you can handle what's in front of you, because if you don't believe it, you'll sabotage it. Fear will make you hesitate. Doubt will make you procrastinate. Insecurity will make you play small. And playing small is disrespectful to the potential inside you. You didn't come this far just to question yourself at the doorway of your breakthrough. You didn't survive all that pain just to quit when it finally matters. You were chosen for this level because you have what it takes to sustain it. Not just reach it, sustain it, and sustaining greatness requires courage. It requires consistency. It requires confidence rooted in identity, so when the challenge shows up, don't say, "Why is this happening to me?" Say, "This is happening because I'm ready for more." Move like someone who understands their value. Think like someone who knows their worth. Act like someone who refuses to go backward. Because when you truly remember who you are, the pressure stops looking like a threat and starts looking like an invitation to rise, to evolve, to dominate the version of you that once doubted this level. So step into it fully. Stop shrinking. Stop hesitating. Stop apologizing for your ambition. You were built for this, and the moment you accept that nothing at this level can break you, it can only build you.